But you can also bring up whatever you want. Benjamin's on the line listening in California. You're on Free Talk Live.
Yeah, I hate to derail your interesting conversation about what I find to be a very interesting story, but I'd like to share something I found that's very effective in breaking the ice with people and sharing the ideas of liberty.
Okay, sure.
One of your advertisers, Stateless Sweets, some of the best candy I've ever had.
It's statelesssweets.com.
Yeah. I found that if I take some of that candy and I just go to people who I'd like to have conversations with, it's kind of weird, like just all of a sudden bringing up politics or something with family members or friends.
Mm-hmm.
But I found that if you go up to people and go, hey, would you like some candy? And of course they say, sure. And then you go, well, I should warn you, this is illegal candy. Are you sure you want it? And
they'll say, what?
What is illegal candy?
Look on they're like, is it laced with something? Like, what's going on? And then I explain to them, no, it's not licensed. The company works outside of the bounds of the law. I wouldn't call it black market because it's not underground. It's very open about it.
Yeah, more like gray market, I guess.
Yeah, and so then I give them, and they go, well, okay, sure. And then they have the candy, and they're like, oh, well, this is so delicious. And I go, yes, and do you feel at any point your life was in danger not having had candy that was, sanctioned by the government?
What I find interesting about this sort of situation you're talking about here is every restaurant out there is always talking about the home cooked meal. I mean, that's what people want when they go to a restaurant, or at least what their restaurants are advertising in a lot of cases is the home cooked meal. At least up to the family level restaurants, maybe the high end ones are going beyond that. But the home cooked meal is a completely unlicensed thing.
It's dangerous.
Right? I mean, I don't know that it's necessarily that dangerous. I mean, I've had lots of home-cooked meals, and
you are
don't think I've
far
ever
more likely
sick.
to get food poisoning from a home-cooked meal than one coming from a restaurant.
That may be true. I don't know. I'd have to see.
Stand by, Benjamin. You hadn't quite finished your story, so we'll bring you back here in a moment. 855-450-FREE is the SACL CAI toll-free line, and you can take control. Bring up whatever's on your mind. Ending bigotry or whatever. Free Talk Live. Let's go back to Benjamin. He's listening in Northern California. Benjamin, you're back on Free Talk Live. You were telling us about an approach that you've been using with friends, family members, maybe coworkers, about how to introduce them to the ideas of liberty. You share with them some candy made by statelesssweets.com, which is made without any sort of governmental permission slips in any kind of governmentally inspected kitchen or anything like that. It's just a lady in her kitchen making delicious candy for folks and selling it. And you tell them it's illegal candy, and they say, what? Go ahead with your story.
Well, yeah, they're just at first they're confused, like, well, how is candy illegal? What are you talking about? And then I explain to them how it's done without permission from the government, and that leads into a discussion about government granting permission for people to do things like this or anything. And it's hard for them to be angry while they're chewing on Stateless Sweets caramel.
Yeah, one does have to wonder what was that first situation where the government was able to say, now you may do business? Because doing business is really a fundamental human right. We're all negotiating all the time for the things that we want and the things that we need in this life. And, I mean, it's interesting how the government gets involved and says, we're the arbiter. We're the ones that are always fair, when everybody knows they're not fair at all.
Oh, well, right. And, it's hard to part with some of my Stateless Sweets when I get them. But I get such a positive reaction from people. No one leaves the conversation butthurt or angry because it's very cordial and friendly because you're offering them a gift essentially to begin with, right? And it just naturally leads into the conversation. I'm not forcing it on people.